Don't fuck up. Don't fuck yourself. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Rude Cooking School podcast. I'm your very tired host, John Hauser III. This week is a little shorty. I'm going to start doing just short, and I've done them a few weeks prior. Just a fun little short story that I think is great from the annals of history in gastronomic terms. This one I found after going through 8 zillion stories today and past days this week, which was nice because I'm good for the next year for stories. I found this one and I found it very charming. And this is from a Gastro Obscura article by Barbara Woolsey. So have you ever heard of the term Fredagsmys? Fredagsmys. It's basically the Swedish version of like Taco Tuesday, but it's Taco Friday. It's Fredagsmys. Fredags Friday. That's where we get the word from, I think. Yeah, it's bananas. Like Tex-Mex has become really, really popular over the past 20 some years, 30 years almost, I think from the 90s. So like, it's nuts. Like basically there was like a relatively recent study. This is like from one thing I was reading earlier was from 2020. And in 2019, the Tex-Mex market was worth $193 million when in 1991 it was 8. Like it fucking exploded. But it's a pretty wild ass like cultural phenomenon. And it very much, the only times I had tacos when I was a kid, like, and this is why it resonates with me. The only time I had tacos when I was a kid was on Fridays, and we would either get them from Taco Bell or we would make them out of those, like, El Paso, like, kits. And, my dad hated tacos for some reason. I don't know why. My mother loved them. She was a big, Taco Bell Mexican pizza person, which then I became a Mexican pizza person because, when you're a kid, you just want to eat your parents' stuff. And I would always want to eat my mom's food in particular. She had better taste. And it drove her fucking batshit insane. So, ultimately she was like, I'm just going to get 2 of them. You just get your own. Which I deeply feel now as a parent. Like, dude, we can just get your own food, but I don't want to eat the whole thing, Now that doesn't work because my garbage hole of a son would just eat my taco pizza, his mother's veggie burrito, and then whatever else we bought him because he's 14 and active. But yeah, this story is fucking bananas. And it, like I said, it hits again because, we cooked most of the time. My mother would cook, relatively from scratch. There'd be box stuff and shit like that a lot. But, she would cook dinners most nights, but on Fridays she was off. Like Fridays and Saturdays was off. She didn't cook nothing. We ordered food. I would walk blocks up the street to a place called Ray Bulls. They had those plastic wrap pizzas that they would just put in these little ovens, and you would order 2 of those things. It'd be like fucking $10, whatever it was. And it's probably like 8, I think, because I remember walking up with $10 and being terrified that somebody was going to jack me for my $10 to get the pizzas. Or we would order from sandwich shops or pizza places. A lot of places, to a little peek behind my terrible childhood curtain, they stopped delivering pizzas to us because my shitbag friends would call pizza places and order pizzas to my house. So they would deliver pizzas, and my mother would be like, "I didn't order pizza," and they'd be like, "Yeah, you did." And she'd be like, "No, I didn't. Trust me." And after they ordered like 10 pizzas to our house one night, and we had to be like, "We didn't order these fucking things," there was like 3 places that just wouldn't. We were just they saw our name and would not do it, which is crazy because at that time there was caller ID. Kids, caller ID was a thing that you just automatically get now. Like when someone calls you, you see their name or their phone number. That's what it was. Didn't have that back in the day, but they knew us by name. So as soon as you said Hauser, they'd be like, "No, we're not ordering shit." Anyway, weekends were for relaxing and chilling and not cooking. And I really like this story. So let's get into it. Swedish food columnist Daniela Ilibrand remembers her first Friday tacos well. She was 14, and it was her first time her parents, who cooked everything from scratch, decided it was okay to buy ready-made ingredients like tortillas and spices. Quote, "It was a really big deal for us," end quote, says Ilibrand, who works for Sweden Food Tech, an organization that works for food startups and businesses. Quote unquote, "My parents liked traveling, so they were into trying something new. It was her first real Fredagsmys, or Cozy Friday, a beloved Swedish tradition. Across the Scandinavian country, families stay home on Friday night, watch TV, and eat Tex-Mex style tacos. These dinner choices were so common that for most Swedes, Cozy Friday is also Taco Fredag, or Taco Friday. A few elements conspired to make Taco Friday a Swedish institution. In 1990, the country was emerging from a financial crisis, and Swedes were eager to spend again and try new things. Around the same time, government deregulation of television allowed advertising for the first time. Prior to that, Swedes had only seen on-screen ads in cinemas. The Swedish chips company OLW popularized the slogan, quote, "Now it's Cozy Friday time," end quote, in its commercials. These days, most Swedes can still hum that catchy jingle by heart. This is widely believed to be the origin of the term Fredagsmys, and in 2007, it was even adopted into the Swedish dictionary. Chips are still a part of many Swedes' Cozy Friday routines, but it's Tex-Mex that truly benefited from the idea of staying in and eating processed foods on the sofa. Old El Paso, which had been attempting to break into the market since the 1980s, experienced success as its ads demonstrated taco assembly. Meanwhile, the Swedish spice company Nordfolks, which marketed their Tex-Mex products to appeal to Swedish audiences, eventually changed its name to Santa Maria due to the popularity of its tortillas and tacos. Their TV spot suggested tacos as a staple of Cozy Fridays, and for Swedes who are already used to smorgasbord or potluck-style meats and meals piled onto one plate, tacos were something new and exciting, yet familiar too. Quote, "Commercials were very important in showing you how you could put together tacos because before that, we didn't have anything where you could put it together in front of the TV like that," says Richard Tellstrom, a food historian and professor at Stockholm University. Soon enough, grocers and restaurants rallied around the idea, promoting Cozy Fridays with discounts and takeout specials. Taco Fridays even became a staple of Sweden's free lunch programs for school children. Quote, "I remember being a teenager when you could start having dinners for school functions at restaurants, and the restaurant would make a taco buffet," end quote, says Ilibrand. "That was like the best thing ever," she said. Tex-Mex was a hot American import just like the series and movies on the tube, but once it arrived, it morphed and became infused with Swedish food culture. Spin-off recipes emerged such as taco pie, also available in the frozen food aisle, taco soup, taco pizza, and taco burgers. Quote, "Anything where you could add the packaged spice mix really," end quote, says Tellstrom. Americans might recognize the ground meat, soft or hard tortilla shells, peppers, onions, tomatoes, and guacamole of Swedish tacos, but not necessarily the cucumbers, peanuts, pineapple, and yogurt sauces that Swedes added to suit their own cultural tastes. That's pretty awesome. Cucumbers, which were perhaps the most curious ingredient, reflect a particular Swedish love affair. Historically, Sweden's summer months were jokingly called, quote unquote, cucumber time. That's what I called it when I went to the bathroom when I was 15. And you can still find cucumber on most dinner tables. It may be pickled, sliced, or doused with vinegar and salt, or atop a salad. It's also often a topping on kebab pizza, another ubiquitous national dish imported and adapted for the Swedish palate. Over decades, Fredagsmys has become a national institution. On Fridays, Swedish families gather at the home, hang out in their pajamas or base layers in the winter, and relax. Friday evenings are a primetime slot on Swedish television in contrast to what's known as Friday night death slot in America. Because, people go out every night. No, but not a lot of people in America stay in is the issue. Or people are going out or going football or, sports and stuff like that. It would be our Thursday probably, or our Sunday. According to Tellstrom, tacos are the preferred meal, but it can be anything eaten in hand. Burgers, pizza, guilty pleasure, processed snacks, or pick and mix candies. A national obsession that is also indulged on Lördagsgodis. Damn it, I fucked that one all up. Or Saturday sweets. Sorry, my Swedish friends. As a family tradition, Taco Fridays haven't changed much over time. Quote, what we haven't seen is hipster tacos. No making the shell yourself or cooking the meat for 24 hours, end quote, says Tellstrom. That sounds awesome. What are you talking about? Quote, it's still mostly canned packaged ingredients, end quote. But the imprint on Swedish food is clear. Walk into any supermarket and you will find a sprawling Tex-Mex section, sometimes even larger than the baked goods aisle. Market research shows that Sweden is now the highest per capita consumer of Mexican foods in Europe, along with Norway, which practices Taco Fridays as well. However, a study by Swedish newspaper Aftonbladet shows that Tex-Mex products don't sell as well in the supermarkets in immigrant neighborhoods. Quote, it does tend to be more practiced by Swedish middle-class families, Tellstrom says. Quote, tacos have become something classically Swedish, end quote, says Swedish-Brazilian writer Rafael Stallback-Close. Quote, the kids from Brazil or Gambia I hung out with had no time for tacos. They ate their own food for dinner. But I grew up in an all-white neighborhood, and the kids I went to school with were all Swedes, and they ate it, end quote. Sure, pairing tacos with pizza, candy, chips, and beer, and soda bucks modern-day wellness trends, but according to Tellstrom, Cozy Fridays has mental health benefits. In Sweden, family meals are less frequent than in other Nordic countries, so tacos are a convenient meal that allow people to spend more quality time together. Quote, it's not about increasing your body standard, but your family standard, he explains. It's healthy to have a family and someone to live with. For Swedes, the purpose of food is to eat it with others and enjoy yourself. So there you go. I love that. Like, we try to do that. I don't cook on Fridays. It's the one, I don't cook on Thursdays either because I'm recording this show most of the time, but I don't cook on Fridays really at all. I cook on Saturdays. I cook on Sundays. I don't cook on Mondays because my wife does Meatless Monday, but most of the time otherwise I do cook. But it's nice to just have a day off where you guys can all just fucking chill. And that's what we do. Like on Fridays, after Crosby gets home from his D&D campaign, which is around 9, we just hunker down on the couch, order food, and just watch some bullshit. We're really into Game of Thrones right now, which I'm watching for a second time all the way through. And man, I forgot how awkward and like just prevalent wangs and boobs and vaginas are just all over that place. And good God, I feel like a bad parent let my 14-year-old kid watch it, but it's fine. Yeah, family time's great. And sometimes it's good to just not fucking, spend all day making food or all night making food. Sometimes you just need to recharge and just watch some bullshit with your family and laugh and be stupid. And that's what Fredagsmys is. And I agree with it. We should all have more Fredagsmys. So there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed this story. I will see you next week with another person. I think I know who it is. Maybe you've already heard of him. And or maybe I'll be with a person who has written a book. Who knows? Time is a flat circle. Anyway, I hope you enjoy your week. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace. So thank you for listening to the Rude Cooking School podcast. I hope you've enjoyed yourself. If you want to join us on the interwebs, you can find us at Facebook. Just look up Rude Cooking School. You can join us and have a blast sharing memes and being silly and asking questions and looking at other people's recipes and being jealous. But then they'll give you the recipe and you'll be happy about it. We're also on Blue Sky. I'm at Rude, Rouxde, and also at Rude Podcast. Find us over there. I post more there than I do. I post more on the Facebook thing, but more than any other of the socials I'm getting off of Instagram and other things. So come and find me at Rude Podcast or at Rude on Blue Sky. If you can, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your coworkers, anyone who is into cooking or food or eating or food history or podcasts or just lonely and want to hear an asshole talk to them. Just let them know about the podcast. We really appreciate it. We don't pay for advertising, and word of the mouth is how we get around. So, that said, thank you for listening to the Rude Cooking School podcast. I'm John Hauser. Don't yuck my yum. I'll see you next week, and peace.